this portion of the course, I'm going over keyword research. A few things. One, we'll go over why it matters. Two, suggested software. We're going to define the metric that these softwares are going to give you, and I'm going to give you good KPIs for keywords. So, first of all, why it matters. One, it's important to know what people are actually searching for and not what you think they're searching for. And by doing that, you can avoid industry bias. So, what do I mean by that? For example, we are a digital marketing company here at Nick the Marketer, and part of what we do is paid advertising. Internally and within the industry, we call it pay-per-click or PPC. However, anyone that would hire us would never go to Google and type in PPC companies in Birmingham, Alabama. They would go to Google and type in Facebook ad companies, Google, Alabama, Google ad companies, and so forth, right? So it's important that you do this right so that you're not wasting time and resources on going after keywords that aren't going to matter. Because at the end of the day, the whole point of SEO is to make money, right? Lead generation and making sure you're being found. So the suggested softwares are going to be KW Finder, SEMrush, and Google's own Search Console. Now, there are plenty more tools out there that are good. These are the ones that we like to use. Preferably, we use KW Finder. We find that it gets better local data, whereas SEMrush gives better national data. And Google Search Console, of course, it's a Google product. However, they don't make any money off of your SEO. They make money off of you doing pay-per-click with them. So the data and the stuff they're going to get you is going to be more skewed towards pay-per-click. So yes, it's a free tool you can use. However, take it with a grain of salt. And one thing I want to note is that pretty much every keyword research software is built in and pulling data from Google's own databases, so you don't really need to worry about data inconsistencies. So before I go in and actually show you how to use the KW software that we use, I want to go over some important metrics that they're going to show you. So the first being search. That is the number of people searching for the keyword within a 30-day period. The next piece is cost per click. So that's how much, if you were to do paid advertising, again, this is not a paid advertising course, this is CPC, but I wanted to go over it so that way you saw that and didn't think, well, he didn't go over this. What is this for? I have no idea. No, it's really just how much it costs every time someone clicks on a paid ad for that keyword. And within these softwares, again, there's going to be PPC, pay-per-click. That's not to be confused with that industry term I was talking about. That essentially is how many companies you're competing for those paid advertising. Again, that's not what this particular course is about, but I wanted to go over it. The final thing you're going to see is KD, that is keyword difficulty. That is how hard it is going to be for you to rank for those keywords. So the two most important things that you're going to see and need to look for is search volume and keyword difficulty. So to go to KW Finder, it's pretty straightforward. So let's say I want to look for website design in Birmingham, Alabama. So I type in Birmingham, it'll pull up the options. Now, one thing I wanted to note here is you see Birmingham City and Birmingham DMA region. Here's the difference. When you click on city, it actually pulls from the city lines, whereas DMA region is a radius. Why it's important to know the difference is because, let's say, like for example, in Birmingham city limits are actually huge. They're just really weirdly shaped, and they don't include data from the surrounding communities like Mountain Brook, Vestavia, and Homewood, which is where a lot of the buying power in the state is. So we typically go with DMA region because we want to get the best accurate data, because when someone searches for HVAC services, whatever, they're going to type in Birmingham or Atlanta or whatever the largest city close to them is, because that's just how people work, right? I mean, that's what we find when we do our keyword research and all this kind of stuff. So we like to do DMA region because Google knows that people think that way, and you need to make sure you're including everyone in your keyword research and not just excluding people because they live a mile from the center of the city lines, but they're also going to be searching for things from Birmingham. So I'm going to go find keywords, and I'm going to move this over here. So again, I want to note that all of this data is within a 30-day period. So you'll see that within the last 30 days, 200 people have searched for website design. The cost per click, again, outside of SEO, just one to touch it, is $22. That's $22 every time someone clicks on an ad for website design in Birmingham, Alabama. You can see that 72 people and or companies are competing or paying for that website design ad. But again, to the two important things is the search and keyword difficulty. You see this is a 57. That's a little high, right? So it's going to take more time and resources to rank for these keywords effectively the higher the KD is. So what we can also see is that there's related keywords, right? So web design and web development. Web development has 100 search volume, but it has, excuse me, but it has a much lower cost per click, lower PPC, and a much lower keyword difficulty, right? So as I'm doing my keyword strategy and my research here, what I would tell a client or whoever I'm doing this for is I would go, okay, well, yes, while website design has more searches, it's going to be quicker and easier to rank for web development. And I would suggest they go after web development because it may take 4-5 months, whatever amount of time to effectively rank on page 1 for website design, but it could only take you 2 months or 3 months to rank for web development. So even though there's less people looking for it, your lead gen is going to come in sooner, and then you get a faster ROI, right? Because that's what this is all about. It's about what kind of leads can I bring in, how many of those leads can I close, and the quicker we can bring those leads in, the more money you can reinvest in your marketing, and it's perpetual from that point, right? So next I want to go into what are the good KPIs, right? So search 50 plus depending on your market and your industry. I want to put a disclaimer about this because things can get interesting here. We'll start with market. So let's say you're in Gadsden, Alabama, which is a relatively small city in the grand scheme of things in comparison to Birmingham or Atlanta, right? So based off of sheer population, you're going to have less people searching for things in those areas, right? So when I say 50 plus is a good number, it really depends on what market you're trying to go for. 50 people may be great in somewhere like Gadsden, Alabama, but odds are it may be more like 10 or 12, right? Whereas 50 in Atlanta, that's not going to be good just because there's millions of people living there, right? So that means you need to find another keyword. And the industry piece I want to talk about, let's say you have, you're an HVAC or a plumbing company, right? So more people are going to be searching for plumbing companies because more people, everyone has to live somewhere. And when something breaks, they need someone to fix it, right? So you need to make sure that you take into account what industry you're in and what market you're going for to make the decision on if, the amount of people searching for it within that 30 days is worth spending the time and resources, right? Or you need to understand, what is your ROI, right? Let's say you're a roofer and one roofing job could pay for 3 months of your SEO marketing efforts, right? So if you're going after a market that only has 20 searches in it a month, but that odds are if they're searching for you, they need a roof, right? That's what we call an immediate need industry typically. So then it would be a good idea to go after that because say you land, you get 5 or 8 leads from that small market and you convert 1 or 2 of them, well, boom, you just paid for your marketing efforts for 3 months, right? So there's more than just looking at data. It's more of a data analysis and understanding your industry and making good decisions on where to spend your time and resources. And the next piece is going to be the keyword difficulty. We like to shoot between 40 and 60. Anything higher than 60, you got to have a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of resources before you start seeing good results. Now, that doesn't mean you can't climb quickly in that, but to get in that, what we call the top 3, the map 3 pack, to rank on that first page, it's going to take more time and money. So when we're starting out new campaigns for people, we try to stay within that 40 to 60 range to make sure we're setting up reasonable goals and expectations. Because if you go in expecting to rank number 1 for a keyword that's got an 80, difficulty, it may take, half a year or longer if you get there at all, right? Because the higher the keyword difficulty, that's more people you're competing with to rank for, which makes it harder, which means you got to spend more time, more money, and all that kind of stuff. So we suggest between a 40 and a 60 on the KD. Again, make up your own minds. This is just the parameters that we go by to determine good keywords when we're developing keyword strategies for our clients. Anyway, that's all I have for keyword research. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I'll see you later.